New reports reveal that the New York Yankees are not done yet during this trade deadline season. Ken Rosenthal, MLB Insider, has reported that the Yankees have so many options and are absolutely still in the playing field to acquire more talent for this team. We're going to get into all of these reports and more on this episode of Yankees Digest. But real quick, before we begin, I want to welcome you in. I am your host, Gabby Gordon. And if you are among the 93% not currently subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button right now so that you never miss a beat. We just hit 1,000 subscribers and we're already climbing up to the 1.1K, and we cannot wait for the next milestone. So please hit that subscribe button and be along with us for the ride. We truly appreciate all of your support, and it really means the world to us here at Yankees Digest. But with all that being said, there really is no time to waste because tomorrow is trade deadline day. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the moment where the trade deadline is over, and that is the deadline, and then the Yankees will no longer have time to make moves. So I want to really quickly get into it all. So the report that I am referencing is this report from Ken Rosenthal, and it says, quote, "The Yankees are kind of, in my mind, a team to watch. They have much going on with their relievers, starters, and looking for yet another infielder. Now, I don't know what's going to come to fruition with them, but they have a lot in play." Now, all of this is very true. This is, again, Ken Rosenthal, MLB Insider, and it is very accurate. They need relief pitching. They really do need starters, and they need to sharpen up the rotation and bullpen, as I said, and they need another infielder, specifically a third baseman, because we don't really know what's going on with that whole situation. Now, the video about Glaber that was recently just uploaded about him really being reluctant and almost not willing to go to third base as a move if needed is really interesting as well. And, Paredes was a great option, but he's off the table now. So what does that look like heading into tomorrow and getting something done before 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this deadline? It's very interesting. What's also interesting to note is major news today. In that case, is that the man himself, G-Man, is back to the roster. Today, prior to tonight's game, the Yankees have reinstated Giancarlo Stanton from the 10-day injured list, and unfortunately, heading back down to the minors is Jahmai Jones. He's been designated for assignment. So what does all of this mean? Once again, this is courtesy of the New York Post. Jahmai Jones has been designated for assignment. Now, upon this news report, you think, well, this is to make room for Stanton. And of course, it is to make room for Stanton, and Jones just happened to be the weakest link and got the short end of the stick on this portion because, as we know, Jones plays the exact same positions and DHs just like Stanton, and obviously Stanton's going to get that spot back, and we've been waiting for him to come back. But what's also interesting to me here is that now with Stanton back in the lineup, it looks a little bit different for how this lineup is going to be structured and what we could be looking at now with a Jazz Chisholm addition in the lineup. So now you have your DH hitter in Giancarlo Stanton, and that's something to note. Of course, you have your outfield set in whatnot. Sorry if you hear the background noise. There is some heavy thunder behind me. Please try not to pay attention to that. And so now you have a different kind of looking roster with another heavy bat. And a lot of people are reluctant to kind of give Stanton the recognition that he necessarily deserves. If you're looking at his stats this year, they're pretty decent if you stack them up against the remainder of the New York Yankees. He's batting basically .250. And now, of course, I don't know how slow his start back to the majors is going to be since injury. Sometimes it takes quite a while to heat back up, and Stan, we know, when he's cold, he's astronomically cold at the plate. But he's got 13 home runs, 29 RBIs, and in 169 at-bats this season, his OPS is .825. So this is by no means a down year for Stanton. He's had some disgusting years, and we obviously want Miami Marlins Stanton back on this board, but if we look at the rest of the Yankees' batting averages here, Stanton ranks fourth, and let's be reminded once again, he's been out for quite some time. So I don't know if you want to take that as an, oh my goodness, the New York Yankees are absolutely awful, or oh my goodness, Stanton's actually pretty decent. Whether you want to look at it glass half full or glass half empty, that's completely up to you. I look at this as, your 1, 2, 3, and 4 guys are pretty reliable. And it also doesn't do justice to Austin Wells, and the occasional Alex Verdugo, who's starting to heat up very slowly. But you're looking at Soto, you're looking at Judge, Volpe is Volpe, and he's having struggles right now, so we'll just exclude that from the conversation. But you got Soto, you got Judge, you've got Stanton now, you've got Wells. Hopefully Rizzo comes back soon, and who's not on this list is Chisholm. And Chisholm obviously offers that speed aspect that we saw in yesterday's game against the Boston Red Sox. So I'm looking at this, and I'm saying Giancarlo Stanton's return to this game is going to be incredibly beneficial for many reasons. Number one, he's got that power. Number two, it's going to be more difficult now to pitch around these other guys, right? What's it going to look like if they walk Judge? Well, then Stanton's up, and it's like, I don't necessarily know if I want that situation to occur if I'm the opposing team. And so that's going to make it a little bit more difficult for opposing teams to kind of face off against this offense. And then you got the speed in Jazz Chisholm. And what else more could potentially come from this is really what's interesting in Ken Rosenthal's report is, yes, they're looking for pitching, but they are also looking for another infielder, and specifically a third baseman. I wouldn't be surprised if we see DJ LeMahieu waived very shortly. I would not be surprised if we see Gleyber Torres within a trade that we may see within the next few hours or tomorrow before 6 p.m., whatever that case is. I could very well see the weak links of this offense kind of, being removed from the picture, because Cashman wants to win a World Series, and, the Chisholm move is no exception of that, and the definition of him trying now to make change, which is something that I respect. And look, it sucks for a guy like Jahmai Jones, of course, because when you're putting up numbers like this, obviously you're not going to stay in the lineup when Giancarlo Stanton is back. But he's young, he's 26 years old, and hey, never count out Yankees talent, because you never know what you can get, and one big move is all it takes. So, but the on-base percentage here for Jahmai Jones, obviously just below par, and the rest of the stats just not where you want them to be. And at one point, I even think Jahmai Jones was batting in the cleanup spot. So that really that's all you need to know about the state of the Yankees offense right now. But the return of Giancarlo Stanton is going to prove to either be an incredible thing in this month that we are in, very quickly heading into August, where it is crunch time now, or it's going to prove to just, continue to plummet, because he's either going to be on or he's not. But my guess would be, based on the numbers that we see here within Stanton and the fact that he is batting pretty average compared to the rest of the roster, and the fact that he's top 4 in batting average is not totally updated because he hasn't played in quite some time. But, you get the idea that I'm trying to put out on the table for you all. It's like, things change now with Stanton back in this lineup, and with Chisholm in this lineup, along with Soto, Judge, Stanton, Austin Wells, definitely no exception, because Austin Wells makes things happen as well. This offense looks a little bit spicier, and if you add in another infielder, whatever that may be, I was hoping it would be Isaac Paredes. Obviously, he is now a Cub. If you can add in another infielder, and whatever that might look like, you have a little bit more, you have a tiny bit more of those pieces that could put together that playoff caliber puzzle. And so I'm excited for that, but most definitely pitching is still a need. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot of me and my co-hosts on Yankees Digest within the next 24 hours, because we've got a lot that needs to be covered within this roster, and a lot that needs to be done if they truly are serious about going all the way for the chase for 28. So that is going to wrap up this video of Yankees Digest. As always, be sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and let me know what you think the Yankees are going to do next, because at this point, it's up in the air. There are so many reports, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications, all those good things. You know exactly what to do, because we're going to cover it as quickly and closely as possible, and if you don't want to miss a beat, this is your place to be for all things New York Yankees. So with all that, this has been another episode of Yankees Digest. I am your host, Gabby Gordon, and I will catch you in the next one.